Welcome everyone to ASYNC. It's really good to see you. I'm sorry for interrupting any conversations mid-flow, but we are ready to go. So this evening we have got a fantastic talk lined up for you, but before we get to that, a few preliminaries. Don't try and say preliminary at the start of a talk. First thing, most important thing, we have a code of conduct. If you are at any point feeling uncomfortable, come and talk to me. Maybe Cameron as well. I think that's actually, and Tom, do you mind being part of the organizing committee? You are tonight. So yeah, come and talk to one of us three. And in general, if you have any comments or concerns about async. We have a sponsor tonight, and that sponsor is Chris from Puck. So Chris, before any ado, do you mind if I bring you up here to say a few words? Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Ali. Hello, everybody. I actually launched Puck a couple of years ago. About a few weeks after I launched Puck, I actually did a talk at ASYNC, so it's very dear to me. So Puck is an open source visual editor for React. You can basically use it to create your own WYSIWYG experience, kind of similar to Squarespace, except that you bring your own React components. You kind of define how your WYSIWYG works, exactly what the constraints are that you want your users to be limited to. So the idea isn't they can do everything, it's they can do the things that you allow them to do. So it's really good for businesses that have like design systems and want to produce landing pages. You can use it for creating email builders. I know Tom was telling me that the week before I gave the talk, he actually had just finished his own WYSIWYG email builder. And if he'd waited one more week, he could have just used this. And to this day, he looks longingly at Puck, wondering whether he should strip out his custom solution. Yeah, so we actually now have an AI capability as well, so you can start to actually generate pages at scale using your own components. So the idea is an alternative to things like Lovable, where you don't want to actually vibe code the code. You actually just want to orchestrate your components. You can produce landing pages using that. I'm just going to open a new tab quickly. No, I'm just going to show the Puck editor.com. And you can see we have a little demo on the homepage, so I thought I'd just show that. So you can basically ask it to like generate a landing page using your own components. So it's not vibe coding these components. I can't use Ubuntu apparently. It's just populating them by basically filling out the props. Anyway, yeah, pleasure to be sponsoring tonight. There's lots of pizza. I also have some swag afterwards if anyone wants swag, but I think Ali's going to be. Ali has a plan for the swag, so if you want swag, go through Ali. Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Chris. Please, applause, yes. Applause on two fronts. Firstly, because Chris has been extremely generous with buying drinks and pizzas for everyone, because we got a good turnout tonight. And secondly, because Puck is, Chris is too humble to say, a technological marvel as well. And so it's an extremely well-written piece of software. We also are being streamed around the world, potentially. I don't know if anyone international is streaming in, but never mind. Hi, Jake. We are being streamed with the grace of Silicon Brighton, and Cameron from Silicon Brighton is here today. I don't think we do have a slide somewhere, don't we, for this? No, that's not the one. Okay, sorry, I will find that later. But you have it here as well. They have a conference. Did anyone come to Evolve conference last year? Yeah, a few of us did. It was an excellent conference. It's a Brighton homegrown conference. Good work. Look at that. Slick, slick, slick. So it's a fantastic conference. If you're a student, you can get a ticket for £12. If you are not a student, you can get a ticket for £20. For a great tech conference, as I'm sure most of you will know, that is an absolute steal. But you can only get it for that price if you go via this QR code. And as an added benefit, ASYNC gets to benefit from that as well. We get a kickback from that, and we will hopefully use that to buy more beers. And you have to put in the code ASYNC. Thank you. That was a very important detail. So yeah, please come along. It is a great day out, and I would love to see you all there. And there's one more slide that I just wanted to show you, because many of you may know Tom Parslow, and I wanted to give him the opportunity to give a shout out to a great activity. Come along, Tom.
Hi. Yeah, probably some of you have come along to Node Venture when we've run it before. So we've done that at ASYNC at various times over the last 12 years now. But it's a like a collaborative text adventure building game. So I get a bunch of people together, a bunch of non-programmers, a few programmers, and we build a multiplayer text world where lots of people can connect and all experience together, and yeah, people just create the weirdest shit, and it's really fun. If you're old enough to play MUDs, it's that, and if you're not, which probably a lot of you are, then yeah, it's cool. But yeah, I'm running it. We're doing it at the Skiff, the co-working space. We're doing a kind of an artists open house thing. And somehow I'm bundled along with actual artists and doing this as a workshop. So it's on Saturday, May 2nd. You can scan that QR code if you would like to get a ticket, which is free, but I just need to know who's coming. I'm also going to post on the ASYNC Slack at some point when I remember to. But yeah, it would be really, really cool. It would be fantastic to see some ASYNC people there, because I'm definitely going a bit wider with the invites this time. Like, we're going to get a bunch of people from the open houses kind of thing coming. So there's going to be a lot of people who are there who can do some writing, do some drawing. But it's nice to be able to pair them with people who can do programming, and then they can make really weird things together. So yeah, hope to see some of you there. Cheers.
Thanks, Tom. That will be a fantastic day. If anyone's come to Node Venture before, it is a ton of fun. So, announcements over. Time for the main event. Today, we have Dave Mateer coming to talk to us. So please give a huge round of applause for Dave.
Yes. Right, let's get this show on the road. Okay, well, thank you, everyone, for coming along. My name's Dave Mateer up here. We're talking about Claude Code tonight. This is going to be the plan for this evening. I'll give you a super brief intro on who I am, what I do, and then we'll start from the beginning. We'll say, like, what is Claude Code exactly? Then I'm going to do 3 demos, and 2 of these are real, demo 2 and 3. Demo 2 is in production at the moment. Demo 3 is the start of a new project in my company. So I'm quite excited about this. And then finally, we'll end with deployments. And possibly the biggest thing here is if you've got questions or thoughts or comments, because I'm sure a lot of you have been messing with Claude Code and know tons and tons. I'm just going to show this sort of brief slice of what I know and what I've found out, and it's super exciting. So let's get into it. Okay, so I guess kind of number one, I'm a programmer, but also I'm an entrepreneur. I've got my own company. I've got a couple of products. I mentor someone in another company. I do lots of bits and pieces, but more and more I'm an entrepreneur. So yeah, some other stuff here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, big one here is I've got young kids, so that means I don't work very much sometimes. I've got to pick them up from school. So my time is precious. So Claude Code, super good. Right, curiosity. So Richard Feynman, super interesting dude, amazing guy, nuclear physicist. Yeah, Google him. He was just always curious, really into things. And I try and be that with Claude Code. So what is Claude Code? It is this thing, right? If you all know VS Code, this is just a console window, and this is Claude Code. Let me describe a bit. It's there in Visual Studio, but also, here is a terminal. It's okay. Let me get out of. Okay, we'll do this. Yay, okay. Let's go to a terminal somewhere. Right, fine. So I guess most of you guys are on Macs. I'm still on a Windows guy. This is Windows subsystem for Linux. It's just Linux, basically. Right. So I can type in Claude here, so it's just a bash. Yeah. It's just a command. Or, yeah. So what is Claude Code? Let me just do this. It's an agentic AI tool which lives in your terminal and has the ability to run commands, read and write files, and interact. It just understands your code base. So it understands the project that you're in. It's got access to all those files, and it just talks back and forth to Claude, the AI. Okay? Right. Next up. Right, installing. Follow the instructions. Mac, Windows, Linux. It's fine. You need to pay for it. I'm on the cheap version, which is sort of 20-ish pounds if you pay per month. There's a bigger version, £100, and there's another bigger version, £200. I'm going to show you the stuff I'm doing isn't difficult. It's very boring code that I write, but it makes me money, and it's great doing it fast. So it's not high thinking. Okay. There's a tip here that they've changed the way they've done things. So if you're on an old build and it says pointing to 4.5, just run it again and it'll work. Okay, that's something I've found. So I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 months, Claude Code. Right, we're nearly getting to the good bit. So Visual Studio Code. Do most people use VS Code? Yeah, no, some? Okay, it's just a text editor. It's got an integration. I actually don't know about other integrations with other editors. Does anyone else know?
They exist.
They exist. There we go. Right. Okay, they exist. So, yeah, fine.
Will they only VS Code adjacent ones like Cursor and stuff like that?
There's an Emacs one.
JetBrains has a bit as well.
Yeah, JetBrains as well.
We do Claude Code integration because
That's true. Yeah.
run it.
Yeah, just run it. Right, so what I want to do is I love presentations where there's live coding. And somebody asked me earlier, they said, you're going to be doing live coding using an AI. What could possibly go wrong? So, yeah, whatever. Hold on. Let me go into my blank project, which is A2 demo. Fine. So I'm just bringing up VS Code. So I've got absolutely nothing in this project, absolutely nothing at all. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up Claude itself. And the first thing it asks me is, do you trust what's inside of this folder? And the folder's called A2 demo. I say, yes, I trust it. OK. And it says, welcome back, Dave. So here we go. Right, the first thing I'm going to type is something like, oh, yeah, here we go. Right, I'm about to start a new project in JavaScript. Let's create the simplest possible Hello World application. OK. Cool. Right. Here we go. So do you want to make this edit to index.js? Yes, I do indeed. All right, hold on. Right, here we go. So it's written hello world, and I can run it with node index.js. So let's be uber simple, and I'll just type in node index.js. Right. Hello world, yay, it works. OK. Now I want to show you a few things, which took me a while to figure out. Right, number one, right, it knows, so Claude itself down here knows we're inside this file, index.js, because it says so here. If this ever gets confused, just restart Visual Studio and it'll come back. That does happen. The way well, you can figure it out, but something like IDE or manage, that will link up Claude itself to the VS Code. That's how these little bits of magic happen. You can also say things like it knows. See, it says one line selected. So you could say something like, please refactor this code for me. and it knows that you're only there's not much to refactor. Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness, it's refactored it. Fine.
That's it, reusable.
Yeah. All right. Right, so.
Some might call this face palming.
Okay, now generally what I always do in code whenever I'm doing anything is first of all, get going. So the second thing I wanted to show you on here was I also subscribe, and you can see down here, I use Copilot. I subscribe to Copilot. So this is in VS Code. There's Copilot, which is another AI. And I subscribe to it, and this sort of little thing down there, it tells you I subscribe £10 a month to Copilot Pro. For this one feature, right, do you want to see what it is? It's this thing here, which Paddy, you told me about, I think. And it's just fast, and it does a commit message. Boom. And that's pretty much what I pay £10 a month for, and I'm happy about it.
If I save you that £10 a month, do I get a commission?
Yeah. Well, I've tried other things, but this just seems so fast, right? And here we go. Right, and it's got VS. I've just pushed it up to GitHub public repo. So nice and quick. Right. Okay. Right, the next thing we're going to do, so we've got Hello World working fine. We've done that. What I really wanted to do, though, was this. Right. Now, some of you may know this website called Project Euler. Let's go here. And here we go. So Project Euler is a bunch of questions which are good, like you solve them by programming. And I've had tons of fun with this website. The first one is, it's a bit like the game FizzBuzz. So if you count a bunch of numbers and they're multiples of 3 or 5, it's whatever, then you've got to solve this little puzzle. Okay. So let's solve this little puzzle using AI. Right. So I'll get my thing. So here's my prompt. Did I put this on my clipboard? Probably. Create a new file called Euler.js to solve the problems. And then I'm just describing it, okay? So let's put this in here in the prompt. And, okay. Right, I'll just do it here. So it's created a new file called Euler.js. And, right, we're actually finished with that now. Cool. Right, so now we've got a program. Fine. Let's see. Run it with this. And it's even given us the answer. So it's actually ran the program behind the scenes and given us the answer. But just for a bit of fun, I'll show you. Cool. Right, so it's done something. Fine. Now, just while we're here, I wanted to show you. So in Claude Code, you can have different models. Different models cost different amounts of money. I am using this one. Now, they've got confusing names. This is the middle one I'm using. This Opus, most capable for complex work. And this one seems to be for quicker. So I use the middle one. And this bit down here at the bottom, it took me a while this is effort. So I'm choosing a model, and in a model, you can say how much effort. So this is all down to cost. So you can turn it down, or I go medium, seems to work. And you can show the usage. Actually, there's a better. Here we go. So this is the amount of usage I've got. I'm paying £20 a month for this, and I get my current session resets at midnight tonight, and I've got tons of headspace until my week actually finishes tomorrow morning. So, yeah, for what I'm doing, £20 a month is fine, especially with the models that I've chosen. Okay. Right. So this works. Fine. Right, next thing we're going to do is, right, somebody asked me earlier about testing. I'm a big tester, So let's, right, I want to refactor this code to be testable. Okay. Well, that reminds me, the handouts that I've given you, I just put down all the prompts that I thought of that I find useful. So things like, please make this code testable, or here we go. Right. Okay. Let's see what it's done. We'll just delete this index file. And actually, this is interesting. What's it done? Right. Okay, so it's done that. Fine. The tests. Okay. Fine. That looks reasonable. Fine. All right, it's just done I see. It's not even done a runner. It's just done its own thing. That's great. Okay, now I'm not a JavaScript front-end guy. I'm a back-end guy. So this type of thing, like module.exports, I think I know the answer, but I'd say something like, is this idiomatic? I know I like ES6. Is this either the most up-to-date code? I don't want to be embarrassed in front of front-end devs. Right. So I want my code to look good. And oh, look, what's it saying? I'm not really sure. Oh, okay. What's it done? Ah, right. Fine. Ah, right. Okay. Yeah, because it's wiring it up using modules. Cool. Please.
That depends on the front end dev.
No, front end dev will raise an eyebrow. Okay, good. Right. So I'm happy now. I'm not embarrassed. Cool. And finally, well, not finally, but again, please feel free to judge me. But I find myself more and more, because I like to move quickly, I just sling everything in the main. I'm not on feature branches here at all. I'm just going fast, commit, put it up, and then if something goes badly wrong, you know, if bad code gets written, whatever, I'm always keeping my eye on sort of changes here, basically. You know, what's going on. Fine. Okay, let's go back to the. Right, I'm just going to check, make sure. So we've done this, done hello world. Oh, look, I was checking the version of Node on my machine to make sure that was good. I did this, same. So this was a different run, obviously. Ooh, we didn't talk about Claude.md. Let's do that. Right. Fine. So Claude.md, I'm sure a lot of you know this or use this or have opinions on this. So I'm going to say, please create a Claude.md file. Specifically saying that my file simplicity over clever code. All right. So I found that oh, did it say something funny?
It's literally said.
All right, fine. Perfect. Simplicity of it. All right, fine. So the way I like to delineate is I try and keep, because Claude.md gets sent on every request, so you want to keep it as tight or as lean as you can to save on cost, basically. And some people say, well, yeah, some people say keep it almost to nothing. I like just a tiny bit in there, and also we'll see like sort of architecture choices and stuff like that. that'll come in the next demo. But readme.md is for humans, Claude's for the machine. That's where I like to delineate. All right. Cool. Let's get into a meaty project. So this was Hello World. We've got it working, which is great. Oh yeah. There were different strategies for solving that, and I looked at sort of, we did a sort of a loop type thing. Oh, Euler, whatever. There's different strategies, more kind of idiomatic JavaScript with more functional strategies. Was a more maths style way of doing it. Whatever. But it's great that you can just ask Claude to do it. And I think we can ask for explanations as well. I highlighted that down there as to why it's done something. Blah, 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 blah. Fine. Functions. Yep, done that. ES6 modules, done that. Refactor. Oh, yeah, this was me because I'm not a JavaScript guy. Updating. Good. Tests. Good. Oh, yeah. Actually, last time it asked me to, if I wanted to use a different test runner. Yeah. I use vtest in projects. Fine. OK, more tests. Oh, this was me going crazy saying, right, make sure this code is good. Like, chuck craziness at it, make sure it behaves. Oh, yeah, this is my son. P.S. Henry is here, and I'm 9 years old, and I'm smarter than everyone. Do you like how he got everyone? He spelled that wrongly. Little monkey. All right. OK. Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting this. Where are we? Tests. Oh, this is me probably refactoring. Oh, yeah, I've got a wrong test assumption, so I refactored. Perfect. Right. So that was number one. Number two, demo number two. OK, this needs a little bit of explanation. So this isn't going to be live coded because this is real. So my day job is I've got my own company. I sell an archiving, a digital archiving solution. So I've got my own servers. I work in human rights. We archive things on social media in war-torn areas. So whether it's Ukraine, whether it's Iran, Gaza. So I work with a lot of people and to make sure that digital images don't go away. Like Facebook and Instagram, everyone takes images down, and we make sure they don't go away. So that, people can be accountable. This is the way that we do it, by using this piece of software. You can see it's made by Bellingcat, which are a journalist investigative organization. So these guys made this bit of code. It's written in Python. I was asked by another company to implement it about 4 years ago. And I thought, right, this should be easy. A bit of Python code, bit of almost web scraping. It turned out it wasn't so easy. And I've made a business out of showing people how to do it, because it's not easy, and it requires constant sort of monitoring, because things change all the time. Essentially, it just reads a Google spreadsheet. So you have a link, and then an archive status. So my archive account checks this spreadsheet every minute, and then we'll go and get the archive, and it will show an output. This is just a sample of a bunny. So this is real. So sometimes my sock puppet account, which I need to get high-quality public images, gets logged out, so the archive fails. So all investigators, they never use their own names in open source in investigation. So they use something called a sock puppet. So they, like some sort of username which isn't tied to them. So this was Monday. This was 9 minutes past 2 in the afternoon. So I knew I had an hour before school was out. So I was like, right, I really want to implement this feature. And So here we go. Right, so I've started already. I'm in a bit of code. Like before, I've highlighted some code. And I said, I'm at this line. I want to know if this is a facebook.com URL I'm trying to screenshot. It's just for Facebook, this code. So I put in a debug just to make sure that I ran it. Fine, sorry, the fonts are a bit small here. I put in a breakpoint just to make sure. OK, and it was right. I hit the breakpoint, so it's like, right, OK, right, sanity. So what's the story here? I think this was me looking. I went down like a wrong. I'm going to show you something here. Right, what we're trying to catch is this coming back from Facebook. We suspect automated behavior on your account because it is automated behavior. However, I'm going to say what I'm doing is completely legal, OK? I'm not crossing any boundaries in the UK at all. So this is public information. I just want to make sure this is super clear. So I went down a bit of a rabbit hole of saying, well, can I just sort of scrape the page and look for this text or something like this? Because I do that using something called WAC-Z format of digital archiving. Basically, nah, it was looking too gnarly. So I was like, right, back out. So what I said was, in this code block, I'd like you to call a new function, which is past the file name of the screenshot. And I had one screenshot from a few months ago when it did trip. I'd like this function to call an image recognition tool. Please give options. Actually, first just create a Python blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to search for text on the screen like we suspect automated behavior. So this is my entire prompt to Claude. And it's like, OK, fine. Which image recognition approach do you want to use? I've never even heard of this stuff. I was like, yeah, fine. This looks good. Another thing, so I'm really comfortable in Linux and building my own servers. And it's something we'll get onto. And it's great if you just like, yep, I just need to install this package. I know I've got tons of horsepower. I can do it. Yeah, fine. OK. So it did some stuff. My test script worked. It's like, OK, this is good. Right, it's now 2:50, so I've been going for what, 40 minutes, something like that. I'm now running it on my dev machine. And did it work? It's like, right, OK, it worked, but how can I write back to the spreadsheet? And I kind of knew how to do this, but I was like, this is hard. Again, this is like a boring problem. It's like, how do I write it back? And there's a bunch of files it has to go through. It's like, I don't care. I'll just get AI to do it. Right. So 1458, running tests, feature done. It worked. Right, look. I've only changed 4 files, it seems like, which was pretty cool. And I then did, basically then did testing. And then I went to pick up my kids. And what happened was the next day, I put it into production, and it's in production right now. So that is, for me, that's the genius of Claude Code. It's like allowing me to, like, I've been meaning to do this for months, right, this feature. And it's only because I'm talking tonight, I was like, right, I need a demo. It's like, right. I'm like, right, I'm going to have to do something. I was like, OK, let's see how long it takes. Right, fine. OK. Oh, yeah, then I forgot to install the OCR package on production, and I couldn't figure out why. It's like, you idiot. I think I even copy and pasted the error into Claude, and it said, are you sure you've installed the package? Fine. OK, right. I'm just going to take a little breath, because I wanted to pose a question for all of you, really. Imagine if you had time, OK, to do anything, to explore anything, any sort of projects or technologies you'd like to experiment with. I'm about to show a greenfield project for a real project that I started a few days ago. But imagine if you had time just to do like any sort of fun project, like you've kind of wanted to do, or maybe a feature that you should push into production. but like maybe just a fun project, anything. Feel free to write it down. There's bits of paper here on his pens. If you want to write any notes, feel free. Or just, yeah. I always find it's nice just to write anything down and go to Claude Code or go to ChatGPT or anything and just type it in and start. Cool. Right, let me get ready for this next bit of live coding, because what could go wrong? Has anyone got any comments so far, by the way?
Well, I was going to ask Dave, should we ask people what greenfield ideas they do have?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant idea. Yeah.
Anyone? Do you want to shout out your greenfield idea? Oh, Mike, thank you.
Mike.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start. Mine is to have like a workout tracking software for going to the gym rather than having to pay for an app. What about anyone else? Anyone got a greenfield idea they'd like to do? Tom?
I was planning to get Claude to build me a flashcard system for studying cuneiform writing. Because I've been reading stuff, it's really fun, and yeah, I'm getting tired of writing flashcards myself, and I can't be asked to learn the other software.
That is very cool. Yeah, you really are on a Sumerian binge at the moment, aren't you? Anyone else? Oh, yes, go on, Hal.
I want to stop doom scrolling on Instagram and basically download my Instagram archive and write something that will pull it onto a form I can host the images myself.
So I did something similar a couple of weeks ago. I got my whole Spotify playlist all downloaded and backed up and cancelled my Spotify account.
There you go. Wow. Very, very cool. Anyone else? Okay, well, that was inspiring. Yeah, cheers, Dave. On with the show.
Okay, so what are we doing? I have no idea. Right, let's go to, we'll go up here, and I think we're going to go RI3 demo. Oh, I've got a nice, I don't know if anyone else uses this. I use a shortcut from Bash or whatever to quickly go into my editors. Just in something like .bash _ aliases, something like that. Yeah. So this is handy. Where's C? It's just C. Yeah, these are all my aliases. There it is. And when I typed C, it's just short for let's see. So it was 3 demo. It was short for that code dot, and that just opens up VS Code in this directory. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So, okay, this is a real product that I started a couple days ago. So let's find out what I did. Okay. Okay, what did I say? Oh, right, that's right. Good. So I started off with nothing. And I basically said, right, I'll get the font a bit bigger here. So a bit like all of you, I'm sure you guys have all got, and girls, sorry, have got lots of opinions on what you like doing best. So let's have a look in here. You can see on the handouts that I've actually gone through some, like changing the technology is very, very easy with Claude Code. I've actually gone from my backend in JavaScript to my backend in TypeScript to my backend now in .NET, because I used to be a .NET guy, and I like it as a compiled language. So I thought, right, I'm just going to use it because I know it. So I've said, okay, I want to build a web app. I want the front end to be React with V as the runner, Tailwind, and ShadCN UI as my design system. This is just because other people have told me these are good things to use. And it has worked. The back end I'm much more comfortable with, so I say, right, this is the tech I want to use. I like Postgres as a database, and I've given it a few things. Yeah, I'm a big SQL guy, so I like writing SQL. I like raw SQL. I don't like full object relational mappers as much. And I've got a few things which are just like .NET-y, which I don't want it to go down any wrong paths. So this is where I've described what I want. Yeah, I don't want fancy stuff in the front end because I don't understand it. Simple stuff, and yeah. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's do this. So actually, one page of Claude Code, and let's talk about product requirement documents. So Paddy, you taught me about this. Cool. So this is where I'm describing what my problem is. And believe it or not, I spent about an hour writing this, and it's only a page and a bit of code. This is real. A friend and I are considering writing a system to help investigators, because the current systems aren't very good, in our opinion. And most people use spreadsheets in human rights organizations that we work for. And try handling. I'm sure you've seen it, but it's just hard. So things like search, really hard on spreadsheets. And databases are good for this type of stuff, so let's do it. So this is me defining the thing. So basically making order out chaos, handling complexity, and raising the bar for investigators. Now, I'm going to be defining, yeah, this is just how the system, or who the people are and what they want. Non-goals and constraints. Okay, now this is a bit more cool because it defines the language, so the actual entities. So I'm defining kind of what things are. For instance, an organization like BBC Verify, an investigation, the Capitol riots in the US when they stormed the Capitol or stormed the White House. So this is like the top level investigation. So basically one organization can have many investigations which can have many incidents. For instance, there was a rallying speech and then there was the breaking of the windows. And each incident can have pieces of evidence. You know, they could be pictures, they could be videos, they could be testimonials. But a lot of social media, that's what I do a lot of. But this is just describing the system. So at this point, I hadn't written any code. I've tried a lot of different strategies. Paddy, you've shown me lots of really cool stuff. In this project, I'm just sticking with Claude and then these sort of two files here, the requirements documents and terminology. Anyone got any opinions so far? Because this is me just trying to figure stuff out. Yeah, Paddy.
How much are you handwriting and how much are you actually getting Claude to write these out?
Yeah.
Or you with you, or?
So this I handwrote. I think I handwrote everything. I'm basically looking at what my clients are saying to me and then putting it in their words. Yeah.
Are there ever features which you deem as so easy that you can just go in and do it yourself? And if so, is there a point where you think it's better for Claude to do it, or is it just all Claude?
So that is a great question. Yeah, I do. And just at the start of a project like this, I was just trying to get the raw bits together. In fact, it's changed already, some of this. So I'm probably going to throw away a lot of this code and start again. And I think that's the genius of what we're doing, is that, you know, if you need a new feature and it completely breaks your assumptions, you just like stuff it, throw it away, start again. Yeah. So yeah, good question. Right, so we've got pull requirements, we've got some terminology, fine, okay. I did get Paddy, I did get Claude, obviously, to help me put in some, I basically said, give me some ideas for what the columns should be called. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Right, and after that, the fun begins. Let's see. So what did I actually say? So make sure you're building. Yeah, make sure you're building what you want to build. PRD. Right, take me an hour. Oh yeah, always commit to source. Fine. Assume you have the bones. Right, so let's build it. Right, so now I use something called plan mode in Claude. Yeah, basically it doesn't do anything. It doesn't write any files. It forces itself not to write files. Even though I think I even tell it, don't write any files. It came up with a plan, and I iterated a few times on it because I didn't like the style that it did it in. But I've also got another project which is similar, and I referenced that other project whilst I was coming up with this plan. So that was kind of cool. Blah blah blah. Yeah, here we go. Okay, and then let's see. I think it did it. Right, so I've just generated the back end. This was my strategy. I thought, right, I'll generate the back end, I'll get it compiling, and we'll get some tests on it. So it ran, fine. Okay, so my strategy is, I like things super, super simple. So on my back end, again, it's very, very simple. We're not doing any sort of next server-side render React stuff. This is just client-side React talking to a API backend. And I like to keep things as simple as I can. So I've just got a root, and I've got a service, I think, somewhere. Where are the services? Oh, they're not even there yet. There's just the roots that are here. So the API, I'll just hit the root, and this just handles HTTP, no business logic. So that's going to be it.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Was the plan something on the file system, or what was the plan?
What was the?
Did you check that into Git, or?
Cool. Yeah. Good question. No. So the plan gets written not inside the project directory.
Okay.
So I guess I could have. I was just kind of almost freewheeling, just saying like, come up with a plan for me, and it writes it in like home/Claude somewhere. Right. But yeah.
So when it's following the plan,
yeah.
How do you stop it overloading its context? How do you stop it going into the dumb zone? The stuff I'm doing, I never seem to run out of context. In fact, at the end of the plan, it says, do you want to dump out the context, start a new one, so that when it's building, it doesn't run out of context. But this is an area, I mean, this is at the edge of my knowledge now. This is what I found works, and it seems to be all right. So just HTTP, no services yet. Oh yeah, it created database scripts. So let's wire it up to a database. Postgres on a local machine, dirt simple. dbeaver is just a UI tool that I use. And then I said, let's consider some integration tests. Oh, so here we go. We've actually got a service now. So we've got HTTP, fine. The service, this is where the business logic sits. And yeah, this is where you get SQL. I'm a big fan of SQL. I really like it. So I use it. This was me messing around with, like, how should the tests work? I'm still not very happy with it, but it's good enough at the moment. So this is me taking me a few hours to build this, right? And then I thought, right, let's try the front end. Cool. Oh yeah, I did the same thing here. I made a plan. It's like I'm putting in different technologies, saying what I wanted. It actually messed up. and I said, blah, 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 TypeScript. Oh, yeah. You see here, it's like, what's the most idiomatic and most professional? It's like, oh, just make it work. And here we go. I think I had problems. If you ever see this, like if the ports are in use, it's just because ports are being used somewhere else in another process. So, but I'm too lazy to remember the kill commands. So I just type it into VS Code and into Claude. It figures it out and kills them. Right, right. What you see here, this is my usual business as usual, in that I've got a back end working in this terminal. I've got a front end working in this terminal. And then I've got Claude up here. And what I tend to do is, to get things running, I'll just get it going, look for errors, and paste them into Claude quickly. Cool. And it works. Now we've got a UI. And blah, blah, blah. OK. Oh, I don't know. Where are we? Oh, yeah, I totally messed up. And I said, do you remember I said I wanted things as simple as possible? And you guys would hate me for this. So this is React. And it put everything here with no structure at all. And I'm like, man, that's the front end devs are going to hate me. I'm like, right, go more idiomatic. And it's like, OK, it puts it into components and hooks. I'm like, right, yeah, I won't get too much hassle for that. That'll work. And then I forgot to say shadcn. Oh, right, here we go. So I knew shadcn has got an MCP, which is PADI, Model Context Protocol, a plugin. So it means that Claude Code knows about whatever MCP describes. In this case, it's shadcn, which is does everyone know what shadcn is? It's a design system which makes it easy to plug things together, like drop-down menus, et cetera, et cetera. Just lots of stuff, and it's free. And somebody I work with uses it, and I was like, right, this will do. So we've now got Claude Code knows about shadcn, has got deep knowledge, so I can just say, what do you think about how should I make a drop-down, and it'll go away to shadcn, and it'll know how to do things. And I think, oh, here we go, James. I did something, I dumped out of planning, and then I said, please pick up where you left off in planning. Even though the file wasn't in my project, it was on disk. All right, fine. Oh, yeah, you guys are going to hate me here because Tailwind version 3, it seemed to, for some reason, something didn't work, and anyway, I'm stuck on Tailwind version 3 at the moment, and I don't like that. So I need to fix that. But I thought, I'm going fast. Backend, why did I say this? Oh, yeah, because I messed up. I compiled something, and it got something wrong. I was just, I don't care. Copy, paste into Claude. Fine. It was just something silly. This has pasted something in. Oh, yeah, here's another silly thing, was that, what happened? Oh, yeah, I couldn't find a connection to the database. Usual stuff. I'd forgotten to put in the app secrets properly. It also looks like there's a name doesn't exist in the database. But whatever, it sorted itself out. Oh yeah, then it designed something for me which I wouldn't have thought of, which was, so when you're logging into the system, the sign in a register are beside each other. I thought, well, that's kind of cool. I've not seen that before. I quite like that. So this was me as designed it. I can do this, I can do this. But let's have a look at the system. What was happening there? Something bad. Oh, this was me debugging as well. Actually, I couldn't figure out why this was happening. So I took the error from the browser and pasted it in, and it said, oh, you haven't developed that bit yet. I'm like, oh, right. Right, MC, so we've done this. OK, right, let me give you a real demo of the app. fine, because it's kind of fun. Right, so, I like to start things off. I've got shell commands for stuff, because yeah. So I tend to do, I just do pm dev. I use pm.
Good choice.
Because someone told me to, and it seems to work really well. And then let's see if it works. Cool, it works. Right, so this was our visual investigation system. I think let's just sign in again. I think it's just this password. Cool. Yeah. What do you mean, let me in's not a secure password? Right, so now we can put in new investigations, whatever. It's just what you'd expect. We can go into an investigation which contains incidents, and incidents contain pieces of evidence. And here's, well, it's just some sample images I had. I can add a piece of evidence, and you can see that there's a drop-down media type. So it's got the bones of what I need. Okay, it's even got some of this. Fine. So it's done it. It's working. In like 2-3 hours or something, it took me to do that. Let's go back, because it gets a bit more exciting. Right. Okay. Yes. Deployments. Okay. So I like deploying to production as soon as possible, so I can show people, and because things always break when you go to production. So here are your options. Oh yeah, if anyone wants to go get a beer or something, please feel free.
Dave, just to let you know, we've got to finish at 9.
Got to finish at 9, right. I'll be super fast. So web app deployment, so it goes all the way from like the easiest, which is things like Vercel and hosted Postgres. Railway, I hear great things about. Cloud VMs, or you're in an infrastructure. And the reason I've said this, I'm going to do a bit of entrepreneurism here. So I've got a couple of servers at my house. Both of them cost about 1,600 quid. They're just boxes. They're just with 64 gig of RAM each, big processors. My internet connects £43 a month. Incoming, I'm not going to say, but I make good money off this. And it means that this is what I have to do every day, is I go into my servers, and I know what this should feel like. So it's very low level, but for my day job, it's invaluable. Yeah. This is my hypervisor. So this is how I run multiple installations. These are all Linux, all Ubuntu, and on one box. So I've got one box. It's got an Intel i7 in it. It's got 64 gig of RAM. And it's running my 5 production servers for archiving. And I'm going to show you this in a minute. This is a fun one. And the other stuff is just stuff. Right. And firewalling is just, I'm going to show you in a minute. There should be a port 22. I'll put that in after the screenshot. And I'll show you how, yeah, that's my setup. That's my dev setup. Yeah. I'm going to show you a problem as well. Right, see here. I don't know if any of you are hardware geeks, but into like SSD wear-outs and stuff like this. I've got a RAID 1.0, if anyone knows about this. So I've got 4 disks, and I can lose any one of them, okay? And it'll be fine. But it's slow. So my next server, because my backups are fine, I'm not using RAID. I want raw speed. And yeah, my outages have been brilliant over the last 3 or 4 years. Oh yeah, right. Right. Let's do a quick demo, and I wanted to show you. All right, hold on. Let's give me any. Oh, here we go. Fine. So this is a project that I built to explore a concept, a bit like I was asking you guys about, what would you love to build? And who is it that said about Spotify? All right, cool. Can you name a band, like any sort of band? And Slipknot, perfect. There we go. Right. Slipknot. Okay, US metal band, Slipknot. Okay. I don't think we've got any audio on this. I wonder if...
I didn't realise you were going to play it, sorry.
No, it's cool. It may be a little bit. Okay, well, the point here is that, for instance, the searching, I'm a things like Motley Crue, right? If you notice here, the searching is really, really good. Please don't judge my musical taste. The searching here is monstrously fast, and it's because it's using Apache Lucene under the hood, or Solar. So it is a massive Postgres database from these guys. And this is how Spotify work under the hood. They suck in this database from Music Brains. So if you want, this is like the Wikipedia of music information. So there's about 1.3 million artists and 40 million tracks. And it's an incredible resource. Fully free, you can download the database and use it. And this is what I'm doing here. So when you search for Slipknot, I've actually got my own index server running on one of the VMs that you saw. And it only uses 2 gig of RAM, but I've got about 100 gig of disk space it's using to do all that stuff. So pretty much any band you can think of will probably be in here. I mean, things like Beatles. And you also notice that I'm doing a track search as well. So I'm doing artists and tracks exactly at the same time. Yeah. So here's somebody who's written a track called The Beatles by Daniel Johnson. Fine. This was an idea for a product. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but we'll see. But really, really interesting in terms of technology, and I'm probably going to use it. So if anyone's interested in this, let me know. Right, we'll go. Yeah, products. Who knows? Oh yeah, I meant to show you that as well. This is cool. So Tom, I think you showed me this years ago. Using Tmux? Possibly. So the idea is that if you kill, let's say you kill a terminal session, right.
We can't see your...
Sorry, I remembered. Right. Let me control positive. Right, I'm actually SSHing onto my box at my house at the moment using dynamic DNS. I've got that linked up. Again, it's pretty simple. So I'm now on an access point machine, and then I'm going to bunny hop to that other machine. And you can see here that the session is still, so sessions don't get killed. This is me just running a tail. So I'm just tailing my log file. So this is another big thing which is super useful for me. Is you can see it's doing, and Slipknot, whatever. There you go. So I can see my query times. God, I mean, it's so fast, it's insane. It's running Java under the hood. It's just, insanely fast. And it's only because I've got my own VM, really on my own. Like hosting that on cloud stuff would start to get expensive. But so that's a little debugging. And I think this is about it. Yes. Okay. Right. Final slide.
So, well done, we've made it. So what have we talked about? Claude Code is a command line tool which has access to your project. We did 3 demos. We talked about deployments. Please consider this lower level stuff. It's number one, it's making me proper money, just being able to do it, and it's a lot of fun. There's Richard Feynman again. He's just curious. And for me, yeah, Claude Code is just making web development fun again. So, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Dave. That was great. Are you okay to do questions?
Yeah, totally. Let's do questions.
Also, you're going to the pub afterwards?
Let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Listen, folks, we've got 10 minutes. I reckon there might be 1 or 2 questions. Also, Chris mentioned that I had a plan, and the plan is that anyone that asks a question gets a free T-shirt or a free cap, depending on what you choose. So I'm going to be optimizing for the most people asking questions rather than repeat questions. And if you can keep it short, excellent. Also, if you just have a tip to share as well, please hands up. So go. Okay, go on.
You said that you used Copilot for commit messages.
Yeah.
You can just say to Claude, commit, and it will give you a really nice commit message.
Yeah.
That commission's by now.
I tried it a few months ago, and it was a bit slow for me. But now that I know what I'll write it down. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Yeah.
Save you $10 a month.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. We'll split the commission.
Split it.
Okay, James.
All right.
Do you have any favourite skills? Or do you use skills?
I've tried a few. There was a good planning one that I tried. Like, do you have some favourites?
Do you mind explaining what skills are?
So skills are a bit like Claude MD, but it's difficult to explain. Instead of flooding the context with a massive amounts of markdown, it just gives the when to use this skill.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it detects when you're using that skill
Yeah.
or when it needs that skill, and then lazily loads in the markdown file when it detects you need
cool.
it. So and you can use shell scripts underneath, but it's just essentially a nice set of markdown skills.
Cool.
Yeah.
So any ones that you think are good that spring to mind? I'll write it down.
Yeah,
Skills.
I mean, they're systematic debugging, planning skills, working with sub-agents. Yeah, there's quite a few.
Awesome. Thanks, James.
Thanks.
Okay, wow, loads of questions. Daz, first off, sorry.
Because you're talking about skills, and that's one of my favourite subjects at the moment. So, yeah, I would say try and use skills as much as possible and keep things out of the Claude MD file. But also, I find skills, there's lots of people sharing their skills online, but I find they're quite specific to my workflow and how I like to work.
Okay.
So I think if you combine Claude provide a skill generator skill,
Yeah.
they also have an ask user question tool, and it can also do deep research. So I think if you can prompt Claude to say, do some deep research on the current state of the art, use the ask user question tool to get my opinions, and use the skill generator skill to generate a skill. And then you get your own skills perfectly tailored to how you want them to be.
Wow. Okay.
What are you finding your best strategies are at the moment for reviewing the code, finding the times it does go off the rails?
A lot of the time, I just ask the simple questions like, please review this code base. Number one, for security. I do that quite a lot. Honestly, I kind of rely a bit on my experience of just like looking at code bases. I'm like, really? You're doing that? I'm like, no. I know also going for testing as well. I'm always pushing. I love having code bases under test. Yeah.
Out of interest, you're running your own servers. Have you asked Claude to try and do a penetration test on your own servers? Because it can,
Really?
yeah, it can sort of scan your ports and figure out like what servers you got running and stuff like that. It's worth doing.
That's just a good idea.
That's not my idea, it's my brother's, I should say. Jason.
Do you, I don't know if you've tried the different models, if you find much difference between the different ones for different things?
I found that I blew my budget really quickly on the big one. Mike, you've done a bit of. Do you have any thoughts on the bigger models? And
yeah, I mean, I run out. I'm on the pro plan as well when I run out by lunchtime. Oh, I'm finished now.
Okay. Yeah. Even on the pro plan, you can burn through it pretty quickly.
I use Opus continuously and have yet to run out.
Is Opus the top one?
Yeah, Opus is the top one. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I mean, I don't even know whether I'm on a plan that existed at some point. Now it doesn't exist, but yeah, I do run quite a lot at the same time all the time, and yeah. I've yet to run out. So.
Okay.
Maybe they just forgot to track it for me.
And which plan are you on?
I'm on one that was called Max at some point. It's costing me £70 a month, whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just on that note of kind of burning through tokens really quickly. There is like a thinking mode as well that you can kind of toggle off and on in config, and I found that like I was absolutely chewing through tokens with that on. I have ended up getting the max plan as well.
Yeah.
But when I was on the pro plan, turning that off actually made a significant difference. You used to be able to toggle it with like shift and tab, but they cynically took that out, and then the kind of day afterwards, I totally rinsed through all my tokens. I was like, I wonder why you've hidden this now. But if you go into config, you can still toggle it off.
Okay.
So that's a bit of a tip if you're on the pro plan.
Nice.
Sorry. Is it Mike?
Mike, yeah. Yeah, another quick trick is you could demo it actually, Dave. I don't know. Is if you type ultra think, it ultra thinks. But also the ultra think word is turned into this kind of rainbow font, which is really cool. So it's
without the flash.
I
think that actually doesn't work anymore.
Ultra think.
Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. They took it out and then they put it back in again.
Oh, people missed it.
Okay.
This just a tip really, because I use a similar methodology. I started with project initiation documents.
Yeah.
So I've got the AI to write up the document.
Yeah.
So I've got a library of those, and then for future projects, I just get it to look at the previous ones as examples.
Right.
And then get it to interview me to actually build the next one.
Cool.
And at the end of each project, you then go in and ask it for lessons learned, which you can then feed back in to improve for next time.
That's a good idea. Nice. Thank you.
I'm going. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go for it.
Do you ever use AI for code reviews?
That's a great question. So most of the time, I'm writing code by myself, so I'm not reviewing other people's code. I would love to read more people's code, actually. Yeah. So, yeah. Does anyone else do code reviews using Claude? Yeah.
Yeah. So I do like technical interviews at the agency where I work. So yeah. So the step of the interview is like they have a take-home project.
Yeah.
So I review their code with Claude generally. But yeah, on that note, the interesting thing is that I haven't actually used Claude Code. I just pay for the 10 quid Copilot Pro.
Yep.
And in the Copilot Pro, you can just choose Claude Opus 4.6 or whatever. And I just use the GitHub Copilot integration in Visual Studio Code, and I use all this, and that's just 10 quid a month. I never actually used Claude Code, but I use those models, and the models are amazing. Yeah, even for like code reviews or whatever.
Cool.
They do work really well. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, thanks.
Do you mind if I just say a couple of quick words on that? Because I think it's a really interesting point. You mentioned earlier about the Claude MD file. All of these tools, like Claude Code and like GitHub Copilot, they have what they call a system prompt, which is basically like telling it what it is, what it's doing, where it is, all of that sort of thing. For Claude Code, as far as I'm aware, it's something like 10,000 tokens. I have no idea what it is with GitHub Copilot, but I do know that some of the tools, such as Cursor, actually try to steer the model to use fewer tokens if you're not paying by the token, basically. So it's something to be aware of. I still tend to use, I use Cursor, for example, and I really like it. But like some people steer clear of it because they don't like to feel like they're being constrained on sort of how much thinking the model can do. I wanted to, I've got the mic, I'm going to steal it. I see an OpenAI logo next to your Claude logo up there, and I was wondering if you had tried using Codex at all, and if you could say what you liked, what you found different at all.
Yeah, so I think did I put it on my? I may not have put them on the notes. So there were two others that I tried that's similar to Claude Code. So there's Codex by OpenAI and there's Gemini by Google. The Gemini by Google was interesting because they gave you quite a lot for free, so that was quite nice. Both of them, I just like Claude Code. It just worked better for me.
Vibes. Good vibes for the vibing. Anyone else? Someone who hasn't asked a question before, preferably? No? Okay, well, I've got the mic, so I'm going to, and I've still got 1 minute on the clock. So, I watched a presentation today about Pi. Has anyone heard of Pi? James, the only one in the room. Okay, interesting. The almost intentionally ungoogleable alternative to Claude Code. I mentioned that Claude Code system prompt is 10,000 tokens. Pi's is something like 200 lines or something. It's very, very slimmed down and minimal. And some of you might have heard of something that was called ClaudeBot, then it was called whatever, now it's called OpenClaw. But under the hood, the harness that it's using is Pi, harness like Claude Code or whatever, so it's something called Pi, and it is winning a lot of fans. And part of the reason is that it's so customizable and so easy to say, like, I just want you to do this, I want you to build that. And so a lot of engineers are finding that they prefer to have something much more lightweight that they can customize to their liking by just asking them to implement the features that they want, whether it's a file viewer, a diff viewer, like a code review tool, whatever. These tools are so ridiculously advanced now that that sort of thing is quite easy and within reach, and you will often find your token usage plummets because you're not sending that extra 10k tokens on every single request. Sorry, sir, you have a question.
Pi, is that PI?
PI, yeah, like 3.142. I could go on. Okay, that is, I'm afraid, all the time we've got because the cleaners would like to go home as well, unsurprisingly. I want to say a huge thanks to Dave. That was a fantastic talk and a really good introduction. And a massive thanks to Chris and Puck for sponsoring tonight and Silicon Brighton. Thanks so much for coming, everyone. I'm going to try and twist Dave's arm into coming to the pub afterwards. We're going to go round the corner to Unbarred, which serves delicious beer. It would be lovely to see as many of you there as possible because I have more thoughts. I think all of us have more thoughts. So please come along and continue to the discussion. Next ASYNC in April is going to be our slightly belated birthday show and tell. So please come along, maybe try Claude Code and bring along what you find out with it and what you managed to build with it. I want to see those greenfield projects, folks. But yes, huge thanks and see you soon.